ghost stories. Do all sorts of ghostly things. Talk local legends. And some ghost hunting. Stories we hope to live to tell. And you live to listen. Who's Ghost Stories? Who's Ghost Stories? We talk Tinker's Hollow to the beast of Delaware Road. Stories we hope to live to tell. And you live to listen. Who's Ghost Stories? Who's Ghost Stories?
So, if you're currently watching the channel, you'll probably still be seeing Eagle Hotel videos come up by the time this one comes out. So hopefully you enjoyed our time at the Judson House in the Eagle Hotel. It was a really, really cool experience.
It was.
Megan had a hell of a time. I had a hell of a time getting locked in a closet.
You didn't get locked in a closet. Spirits just didn't want you to leave.
Yeah, they just didn't want me to leave. Yeah, let's take that one to the court of law. Was I locked in or just prevented from leaving?
Prevented from leaving.
But it was a great
No.
time. I've got some wish list items for traveling this year, both Buffalo, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. So once I hear back from them, we can start making some announcements. But until then, we've got some good classic places to talk about here, including today's, which is the Bus to Nowhere.
Bus to nowhere.
In the heart of Philadelphia, PA, lies an urban legend that sends shivers down the spines of locals and visitors alike. The Bus to Nowhere. This eerie tale centers around an enigmatic and elusive bus that appears at random times and locations throughout the city. The Bus to Nowhere is said to have no fixed route, no apparent schedule, and a destination that remains a haunting mystery. It is a ghostly vehicle that seemingly materializes out of thin air, cloaked in an aura of foreboding. According to the legend, those who board the bus are often individuals at the end of their rope, seeking escape from their troubles. The bus offers them a chance to leave behind their past and disappear into the unknown. Once on board, passengers are enveloped in an unsettling silence, with the only sound being the soft hum of the engine and the occasional whisper from the shadows. The windows are fogged, obscuring any view of the outside world, and the driver remains faceless, an ominous silhouette in the dim light.
Many stories circulate about the fate of those who take the ride. Some say that passengers are never seen again, vanishing without a trace. Others claim that the bus eventually returns them, changed and hollowed by their journey through darkness. The Bus to Nowhere serves as a chilling reminder of the unknown corners of the city and the mysteries that lurk just beyond the edge of reality. For those brave or desperate enough to seek it out, the bus offers a one-way ticket to a destination that remains forever out of reach. A spectral voyage that promises escape but delivers only the unknown. Some believe that the bus is a manifestation of the city's collective sorrow, a moving purgatory for lost souls in seeking redemption or release. Urban legends often blend with fragments of truth, and some accounts include sightings of loved ones, long presumed missing, peering through the fog windows, their eyes reflecting a strange mix of recognition and despair.
For others, the Bus to Nowhere serves as a cautionary tale, a grim reminder of the dangers of running from one's problems instead of facing them. For others, it represents a glimmer of hope, a last-minute reprieve from a life filled with despair. Whether seen as a curse or a blessing, the bust remains an enigmatic presence in the city, a ghostly enigma that continues to captivate the imaginations of those who hear its tale. So if you ever find yourself wandering the streets of Philadelphia in the dead of night, and you hear the distant hum of an engine accompanied by a sense of inexplicable dread, you might just have stumbled upon the bus to nowhere. Whether you dare to board or choose to walk away, the legend will live on, a testament to the mysteries that lie at the heart of every city and the stories that keep our imaginations alive.
This is one I literally just learned about not long ago, and I think it's a really, really cool local legend for the Philadelphia area. And before we dive in too deep, I just kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on like the legend and the story itself. What do you guys think about it? We'll start with you, Alex.
You want to start with Tyler, because I have some thoughts that I'm going to dive into.
Tyler, like I said, we'll start with you.
All right, cool. So I like it. I think it's cool. It's different. It also has routes. So I googled bus to nowhere, and I'm getting where I can depart from it. But
It's weird.
yeah, no, it's cool. It's different. It's eerie. It kind of reminds me of that. I don't know why, and I could be speaking completely out of school here, but you might want to edit this out. I don't know, but it reminds me of that Hey Arnold episode, the Halloween
Yes,
with the train
the
conductor.
train. Yes,
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why, but it
it
reminds me of
fits
that.
it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not speaking out of school then.
No,
I had the same thought.
It sounds
And-
really cool.
It is. And to locals, it's also known as Bus Zero because it has no LED boards. It has no ticket on it.
I wrote down some too.
Alex, what are your thoughts on it here starting off?
So, definitely, like Tyler said, I was getting immediate like flashbacks to Hey Arnold and the Ghost Train.
Yeah.
The Ghost Train to Hell, because it
Was that
goes
what it
into
was?
yeah, because it goes into like an iron forge.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah. So anyway, God, I can't help myself. No. So while this is a new story to me, like even Andrew said, like he hadn't heard of it before. Obviously, because I'm not from Philly, I'm not familiar with this. But there's definitely there's a history in a lot of different cultures, a lot of different areas, and it's not just here in the United States; it's global. Of taxis, buses, trains, like almost exclusively there's always some kind of you're down on your luck, or you're being bold in the dead of night and you decide to ride this haunted thing. Like that is something that is culturally across borders. And so I like it. It's very much a classic story. And it's also sometimes called the Wandering Bus. I wanted to throw that one out. You said Bus Zero, which is true, one of the names, but the other one is the Wandering Bus. And while it doesn't have LEDs, apparently, according to some of the stories as well, there's you'll hear an automated voice talking over the speaker box, but it's hard to tell what it says.
Yeah.
Huh.
And
I
I
like
think that's
this a lot.
yeah. And I think kind of what's really cool about it is like the bus sounds really, really scary, but it's not really anything bad. Like for most people, like it's a place where like they're really down and out, and um it gives them a chance to like separate from life and like go almost into limbo to like
Yeah.
really decide like
Well, so you
what it
said
is that I want to do.
that purgatory, right? That middle
Yeah.
ground. You know, I like it a lot. I think it's a dark way of hope.
Yeah, like it's not like a cursed bus or anything like that. Like if you
Right.
find it, it's going to give you the chance to really just kind of sit with your thoughts and really decide what you want to do. Like
Yeah.
you're not in the land of the living, you're not in the land of the dead. You're just with yourself.
You just kind of withdrew from the rat race for a little bit.
Yeah, and here's the train conductor finally showing up.
Yeah, from the Hey Arnold episode.
Yeah, that's exactly. And he's singing that creepy song.
Yes.
Oh, how can you? I wonder where you can stream Hey Arnold.
Paramount Plus.
Well, all right, never mind.
I
I
own the entire series on DVD, so I watch it myself on Halloween. But yeah,
When we get off air, I'll send you my address. You can mail them to me. Just kidding.
yeah,
I used to love Hey Arnold. That and Rocket Power are like my two favorite Nick shows. But that conductor one was always so creepy to me.
oh, it's fair. It was inherently creepy.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair though, I used to get scared at SpongeBob Halloween episodes too. So it's not saying a lot.
No, it's fair.
Some of them are really creepy. The other thing that's cool about this to me is like the almost like cultural significance the Bus to Nowhere has taken up in the city of Philadelphia, like the area that it frequents and is like seen the most, because like it turns up in like local artwork and stuff. I think one of my favorites, we'll try a screen share here to see if this works in a timely fashion. The conductor took a few shots. Little teeny haunts. When you're at your lowest, the bus appears. And there's like a whole bunch of them. Like, I was only sharing that one tab. Bunch of different little artworks like that about the bus. So it's really cool that like it's kind of like loved and revered.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I do find interesting is people that do ride the bus. They have no sense of what happened on it. They have no sense of how long they were on it. It's really just like they really just stepped out of our realm and were just stuck in limbo because they don't remember anything really about what happened there. Your mind's working on something.
Yeah, I was waiting for for your piece to end. So I was saying that how culturally there's always been a story about these like ghost whatever transportation things, and it was bothering me, and I was like, what is the name of the ferryman? And I was thinking the ferryman in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
And it's Charon. Charon is the ferryman who helps the dead cross over the river Acheron or Styx, depending on what part of the myth you want to believe. But it's taking people who are dead to the afterlife. They're in this like weird state in between. And some of the legends from the Greek myth say that if you don't pay the ferryman, that you're doomed to haunt the realm of the living rather than moving on to the afterlife. So, there's definitely a cultural root of this kind of thing. And I don't know, maybe Charon has found a way to modernize, and he's now running a bus. And instead of taking them directly to the afterlife, giving them the choice, you can get off here and go to the afterlife, or you can go back.
That is what it sounds like. Like it sounds just like rowing down the river of Styx. Like, all right, get off. But now it's a bus, and now you've got the choice. Like, hey,
you got to modernize. You can't be riding the same boat for 80,000 years. You gotta go with the times. So now we're using fossil fuels and big guzzling fuel hogs. Yeah, let's get a bus in there.
Charon's bus is doing without smog.
In the next 10 years, it's going to be a green bus.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a solar powered bus.
Ooh, it's not solar powered and it's not fuel powered. It's soul powered.
Soul power.
Full powered, yeah. Yeah, powered by the tears of the ones riding the bus.
Exactly.
Since we're getting back into retro and vintage things, it's gonna turn into a trolley.
Do you think it's a Philly thing? Because, like, Philly's just a hopeless city.
So it's kind of funny. Most of the articles and stuff I read about it and blog posts do talk about like how like the parts of town that it's like seen in the most are like
Yeah.
the towns that have like historically have had like lots of like hardships and like sorrows and like the poorer parts of town. So that is an interesting little tidbit that you hit on. I think I had one open. Let me see if this one mentions that part. Because talked about specific boroughs seeing it more than others, and how those ones were the ones that
Does Philly have
historically
boroughs?
did so great.
Oh,
This one doesn't
Oh.
say that specifically.
West Powelton, Center City, Passayunk, and North Broad, and the Dauphin and Glenwood area.
So, everyone that boards it, they don't pay. Everything talks about like how like you earn your ticket.
Mm-hmm.
You don't pay for your ticket. Do you think if you choose to die
You
and
pay.
like cross over,
You
do
pay
think
with your
that's when
life.
you pay? That's what I was wondering too.
You
Oh,
pay for the fare.
That's your payment.
interesting.
You're doomed to go back.
You don't get off.
If you don't get off, you get to go on, but you pay with your life. You don't, you're doomed to go back to the existence that you had before. Whether you feel freed by it or not, you're doomed to go back and haunt the world of the living. It doesn't say that you die. It's just that you haunt the world of the living.
And you,
Can you haunt something while still alive? Technically, yes.
Oh, yeah.
it is really interesting. I like that thought. It's an interesting little wrinkle to throw into it.
Sure is.
I wonder if anyone has like specifically tried to seek out the bus, because I don't think you'd be able to find it.
No.
I think it really comes to you when
You need it most.
Yeah.
So I think if you're just out looking for it, or like if you're trying to investigate claims of it, I don't think you would get anywhere, because you're
You don't need it.
right. It's not a place like the almshouse you can just drive up in.
No.
It really seems like it's it offers a new dark hope, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, it does, because it's like
You know, 'cause here's one little snippet. It says, leave regret behind and make room for change going forward. And every choice is dissected and presented to you. So it basically lets you, it goes in a deep dive. You see everything you need to see. And then going forward, you have the power to make change for what you need going forward.
it's like a Christmas Carol.
Ooh, yeah.
Like a what?
It's like a Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah.
The ghosts showing up to show them the past, present, and future. That's kind of what it reminds me of too. Huh. But yeah, you're right. It's like a dark hope. It's like things ain't going great for you, so here's your choice, but
Yeah.
we're gonna present you everything first so you can make your choice.
Yeah.
I also like that it's not nothing I ever read about it. Nothing made it sound like it's biased at all. Like it doesn't try to make you lean one way or the other.
It just exists.
Yeah.
Like people
It's,
that hop
very-
on, it's not trying to kill you, but it's also not trying to save you. It really just is.
It presents
In
things
your
as they
hands.
are.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the coolest part to me. Is it's really just a Spectre bus driving around, letting people make their decisions whether they want to continue to live or not.
It's the ferryman.
I don't
Is
even
the
think it's
very-
that morbid. I think it's more like, I mean, it could be living, but I think it's more like, do you want to change your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
or you can just keep going on what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, that could be too. Just a period of like self-reflection to be like, this is where your life's at. You're clearly not happy with it. What are you? Are you going to keep going down this path? Because this is where it's just going to keep taking you.
Right.
I wonder if anyone's been on the bus more than once.
Bus going where?
Yeah,
Nowhere.
the bus going to nowhere. I wonder if anyone's been on it more than once.
Oh, more than once. That's what you said.
Yeah.
I know where the bus goes. We're talking about it. That's kind of the point.
But like, because either way, like, if it's meant to be like that reflection to like help you change your life, or if it's a literal
Yeah.
like life and death thing, I wonder like if you get off, if there's somebody who gets put back in their situation and they're back on the bus, I wonder if it's the same experience, or if at that time like gets a little more serious or something.
Well, this right here, this said it can be minutes or hours for some. For others, it can be days and weeks. It's been rumored to last months and even years for a select tormented few. That's crazy. Like, how bad
Right.
does things have to be where you're just like, I spent the last year of my life riding around Philly, trying to make it. Not okay. That sounds a little too funny. But riding around on this bus, if you can't figure shit out in a couple days, I don't know.
And like clearly time works differently for the bus where like it feels like you're on there for that long, but then in
Yeah.
reality like you're not. So it's like you are onto something there. Like, how does it feel like you're riding on this thing for a year and you haven't been able to make a decision one way or the other?
Huh.
Some people can.
And it's interesting. I think that kind of shows the unbiasedness of the bus, that it'll literally just let you sit there for a year.
However long you need, you figure it out.
I'll drop you back off wherever you want to go.
I like
Well,
thinking with what Andrew was saying about what was it, Christmas
Carol.
Carol. It all happens in the course of a night. Scrooge gets to see his past, his present, and his future. So
Yeah.
time doesn't work the same. So the question is, people who say they spent a year on the bus, and you said the time works differently, is the bus ride itself, as far as human time is concerned, a 5-minute trip?
Yeah.
And it could be a whole year that you were on the bus, or is it? I don't know. I'm just
In my mind, this is how I picture it happening. Is I picture it almost like the Polar Express, where
5 minutes to midnight.
yeah, you're asleep in your bed, and all of a sudden, like, you just something either compels you to like wake up and go outside, or like you hear it coming.
You have to choose if you want to get on or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like that's the part, and then
Polar Express. It works.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking about that.
that's the best example I could think.
Oh my
about.
God, is the Polar Express?
Those kids have to go on and think about their lives. They get hot
is that
chocolate,
what it's about?
kind of.
The
Sort of.
animation always creeped me out, so I never really liked it.
Fair, very fair.
I think you're onto
Yeah.
something.
Is the Polar Express secretly a bus to nowhere movie?
I was going to look up this Hey Arnold episode based on a bus to nowhere.
Bus to nowhere. A lot of connections being made here, and I'm all for it. Oh, here we go. Let's see if I can get this screen share to work, because I can show you some of the other artworks and little comics for the bus to nowhere. That one, way too small. But, I like this one, to travel away from pain and despair, because I really think that's kind of the purpose of the bus, is really to just get away somewhere kind of neutral. That's a man
Psychedelic.
in leopard
What?
bikini bottom. I don't know what's going on here. We're going to stop the screen share before I go lower here. I don't know what's happening. Philadelphia's a weird place. Interesting.
Sure is.
So, Alex,
Yes, sir.
if you're at a point in your life where the bus to nowhere shows up for you, do you hop on it to take the chance to examine everything, knowing what it is? Or do you say, no, thank you, I don't even want to be put in that situation?
That's a question with no answer. um, it really is. I've been in pretty bad places in my life, and I mean, introspection helps. So if I was in a spot where the bus to nowhere was upon me, I'd get on, because I definitely need that time.
Tyler, what about you?
I'm looking up trips to Philly right now.
I could use some introspection ASAP.
No, I would actually. I think because I'm very much like better off not knowing kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think I would do that. I think it is worthwhile. You know.
I think I would too. And I think what gives me um the non-hesitancy to say that is how unbiased and fair everything sounds about it. There really is no
Yep. No, it's not.
there's no agenda. I don't know if that's the right word,
Right.
but the one
No, it
popping
is.
in my mind right now, like the bus has no agenda. I like Alex's theory that it's can you pronounce it again for me? Karen?
Sure.
Sharon. I was like Karen, Sharon, Sharon. I was close. I like Alex's theory that it's something from Charon,
The ferryman.
and it's his new ferry to get people from our world to the afterlife. Especially because the bus drivers, they always say there is a driver, but you never see his face. Also interesting, I only saw this in one post about it, and they were talking about someone they knew that said they rode the bus. They were hesitant to get onto the bus, but they said when they looked in the windows from the outside, they saw their family members and friends who had passed. But once they got on the bus, there was nobody else there besides the driver.
Huh.
And I think that kind of lends the confirmation that it's a place between living and death, and also some sort of ferryman vessel, because you can go to the afterlife where everyone else is, or you can stay here and be with your favorite people and watch your favorite ghost podcasts.
Exactly.
All right. So, Tyler,
Yes.
Alex, we're gonna play a little pseudo game here.
Okay.
That I just came up
Alright.
with on the top of my head. So this might get cut if it turns out garbage. So I want to play a game.
All right.
All three of us have died.
Okay.
Once you cross over into spirit, Charon offers you the opportunity to join his ferryman. Once you join, it is up to you to pick the vehicle with which you offer people the chance to either contemplate what they want to do or the way you take souls
Mm-hmm.
into the afterlife.
What vehicle do you pick?
What vehicle do you pick and why?
Oh,
And what's
hell
your ferrying demeanor or method? Like, are you going to be as unbiased as the bus, where you really just let people do their own thing, or are you going to come in with a little bit of an agenda?
I would like to go last.
All right, Tyler, do you have any idea for your answer?
Oh, hell yeah. It's easy.
All right, we'll start with Tyler.
Oh.
Cherry red drop top Corvette. Are you kidding me? What better way to make someone want to live than doing 95 down the highway in the middle of July with the wind breezing through your hair or lack thereof? It can contemplate all your actions. I mean, it's better than Viagra.
It's fair.
Can you imagine sitting in your bedroom, depressed about your life, and you
Dude,
just hear
are
this
you-
roaring motor pull in your
Yeah.
driveway, and
Yeah,
there's Tyler in the driver's seat. Get in, loser. We're thinking about shit.
yeah, exactly. Or like you're just walking down the street, like say you're walking home from the bar, middle of the night, pissed drunk, depressed, and you want to get hit by a car, and instead someone picks you up in a fucking cherry red convertible Corvette and says, "Hey, don't ask how I know, but I know you need help. And if you want to make life decisions, this is it, pal." There's also there's also a fifth of whiskey and a pack of Marlboro Reds waiting for you. We're living.
I love it. Just blasting down a highway going 90 to 100 miles an hour with no other cars on it, just letting you just
Yep.
figure shit out.
Paradise City by Guns N' Roses just cranked up to fucking 12.
The knob's broken off. You cannot turn it down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You need it that loud because you're doing 95. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, all right. What's your driver look like? Like, does it look like you, or is it like faded out like the bus driver?
Don Johnson from Miami Vice.
Jonathan from Miami Vice. Okay.
Yeah. Like an all white suit from like the 80s. But at first he's very front forward and like, whoa, like, hey, take it easy. But he shows compassion and he's there for a reason.
Yeah.
Aviator sunglasses so you can't see his eyes. He's not wearing a conductor cap.
I like it. I get it.
All right, here we go. I'm going to pull up a screen share just for anyone who has no idea who Tyler is talking about, so you can have the visual of who
Yeah, exactly.
is picking you up in this beautiful car.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie at all here. If that cherry red Corvette pulls up, this man's in the driver's seat, offering me the chance to contemplate life, I'm getting in.
Baby blue undershirt and all. Absolutely.
And instead of a badge, he's just holding his, like,
a fifth of whiskey.
Nothing. He's got the whiskey. Here you go. You look like you need this.
Exactly. You could use a drink. Get on in.
So, is Don Johnson Ferryman, is he as neutral as the bus, or is he leaning one way or the other, or is he just kind of pumping you up?
I think the right answer would to be he's just as neutral as the bus driver.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say he takes on a case by case basis. Like he's real.
Ooh.
Like listen, this is all. And he gives a little Razor Ramon speech too. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do, kind of thing.
Hell yeah!
And you're one bad MFer. So you know what? Change your thinking. And he's just a motivational speaker. Honestly, he honestly just sounds like a motivational speaker who has a Corvette. And has a coke problem.
He's high energy.
And he's got a pure heart, though. Yeah, that's...
Everything you think of that's bad in life, he's flipping it on its head.
Exactly. He's trying to. There's a little bit of fairness there, but overall, he's putting the positive spin on things.
He's not going to force you into a decision, but he
Yeah.
wants you to see the good things.
Right. And then next thing you know, you wake up in your bed the morning after with an empty fifth of whiskey in your hand and a headache, but the best attitude because you have a slight headache, but it's not a hangover. You have a headache because you spent so much time thinking,
Yeah.
and you're ready to take on the world. And that's my
Tyler, I didn't really have an idea of where you were going with that, but that was
You know what's
better
funny? Neither did
than
I.
anything.
I didn't even know we were doing this until this morning. You gave me zero lead up to anything about this one or anything else. So, you know what? Yeah, that was fun. And instead
That
of the
was
bus to nowhere, it's the convertible to Paradise City. And Paradise City is all in your mind. Paradise City is the life you make for yourself. And honestly, I think I just talked myself off a ledge with that whole thing.
anytime you're feeling down, I want you to think, what would
Yeah.
Corvette Don Johnson do?
Exactly. And then all of a sudden you just hear that sick, tasty riff from the intro to Paradise City. And then. I mean, you know what? I'm going to try it out in my own life.
Amazing. Instead of rage rooms, we just need rage convertibles where Don Johnson picks you up and just takes you on the highway.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe since, up here in the Buffalo area, maybe he just goes down the 190, around Buffalo. Or for people who really need it, next thing you know, you're on Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Again, all dependent on the rider.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right, that's gonna be a tough one to follow, but I'll do my best here. That one might already have my vote for best one. That's tough.
Well, thank you.
For my vehicle, I'm going with a nice pontoon boat.
Hell yeah.
And the boat's drifting down just a completely empty lake. All that's around are like ducks and fish, just wildlife and trees, not a single other person. You're on this pontoon boat, just cruising, not too fast, but you're moving. And beside you is, and this is very specific for it, is like a early 90s hard plastic cooler that had like the blue textured lid or red textured lid, depending on your color.
Yeah.
Very specific. Cup holder in the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, has to be there.
Inside the cooler is your favorite beverage of choice, any kind. Beer, pop, milk, whatever you want, Badger milk, it's in there. On the other side of you is a little boat grill that just has whatever kind of meats or foods you want there.
Yeah.
Little tasty snacks.
Yeah.
And as you're sitting there, my ferryman comes up and he just puts his arm around your shoulder and you catch this glimpse of this little Hawaiian shirt. And when you look up, it's Tom Selleck.
Hell yeah.
And in his hand, he's just got a fishing rod. And the whole point is you two are just cruising down the lake on this pontoon boat, just talking shit out.
Yeah, and you know what? May I add one thing?
I'm
so
here.
There is a method of fishing that is perfect for exactly what you're talking about. Trolling. All you do, rods in the water, you're just cruising. So that sounds perfect.
That's it. And like I said, you've got unlimited favorite beverages, unlimited favorite snacks, and I think I found the actual
Magnum PI.
It's an eBay posting? Whatever.
It's probably a poster. Oh, man.
Yeah, this is... Let me get
Especially that era. Oh.
This is... Let me get this on screen share here. This poster is currently up for purchase for anyone watching that wants to go buy my ferryman.
Bid on him at the least.
throw a couple bucks on old Tom Selleck here.
Fucking Tom Selleck.
That's not too bad of a price either.
No.
It's a publicity picture too. Sorry, I'm intrigued.
No, you are more than welcome here. It's gonna pop up eventually for Cap and Tyler over there.
At some point.
Oh,
Oh,
we're coming.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
So we definitely all have a theme.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that now.
It's just
Yeah, honestly, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's perfect.
you and him are just trolling down the lake.
Yep,
You might catch
850.
fish.
That's it.
You might, yeah.
Right? That's what I was like, that's not bad.
You can't encounter an even $10. Bid on it. Bid on it for $10.
So that's
Yeah,
just
that-
it, and he's not going to have an agenda.
Yep.
Whatever
Oh,
you
yeah.
bring to him, he'll give you, the good and the bad, and he'll tell you straight up because it's Tom Selleck, like, hey, where
Yeah.
you messed up. But he'll
Yeah.
also tell you like a warm father figure, like where you can get better.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's Tom
And-
Selleck. That's that photo of Tom Selleck. And he just looks at you with that same exact look on his face.
And I'm gonna tell you how on this specific vessel you decide to change or leave this life or come back. Tom
Yeah,
Selleck, when he feels that you've had sufficient time, he is going to kick a garbage can over to you and tilt his beer to you.
Yep.
And if you cheers him, you come back to life. If you throw yours out, he just carries you on to the afterlife.
The big troll in the sky.
And there's no malice. He just gives you a warm smile either way.
Yep.
And
Yep.
he's either taking you home.
You're
Or
gonna
he's
need to
taking you
look
home.
I'm gonna tell you that now.
So yeah, I think so. Tom Selleck's pontoon boat ferryman.
I like
Is,
it. Not gonna lie. Being being an avid angler myself, kind of wish I thought of that, but
Alex literally leaned over to me. He said he's going to pick a boat. And so,
Then when you did pick a boat, I was
You know what?
surprised.
didn't even cross my mind. When you said vehicle, I was thinking, the concrete all the way.
That's fair.
But
honestly, we'll hear from Alex, but I think this exercise is telling us like what we would want, like when we're at our lowest. Like,
yeah,
you want that convertible.
I'm not even a
gone
sports
jet.
car guy, and that's the first thing I
Yeah.
thought of. I would much
Let's
rather take the boat.
Yeah.
What?
But-
You know what I wouldn't take though? I still take Don Johnson in Paradise City by Guns N' Roses
That's fair.
over Tom Selleck.
That's
See?
fair.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We've developed an exercise to tell us exactly what we need.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to look at my vehicle. So mine. My vehicle is a John Deere Gator.
Okay, holy
Dude,
shit. We've now covered every facet of highway. Concrete highway, water highway.
Specifically this type of
Right here? With the
it's
roll
not
cage?
that one, but it's the roll cage one. Yeah, you can see.
We've now covered literally every possible facet of
Well,
Terra.
2-seater or 4-seater?
2-seater.
That's what I figured.
It's a 2-seater.
It has to be a 2-seater, right?
Exactly. So, yeah, you're gonna. I went to the John Deere website. Exactly that, right there. So the vehicle itself is a John Deere Gator. It's going to be one of their off-roaders. That's it's got all-wheel drive and things like that. And obviously, like Tyler was saying, you just hop on the highway. Andrew had the pontoon boat, going on a river or a lake. And the Gator's just driving around. Doesn't matter where. It can go anywhere except for obviously water, because that's not good. But you're in a Gator, and you're in the passenger seat, and your ferryman is Jeff Goldblum.
Oh!
Really? That's interesting.
And all he does is he drives, and he looks you in the eye, and he asks you questions about your life and what you're feeling. That's all he does, is he asks you, how are you feeling? And he asks probing questions like, why? Well, why do you feel that way? And all he does is he sits there and listens to you. And then how you end up choosing is he goes, oh, where do you want me to take you? And depending on where you say will be where he goes. If you're like, you know what, I want to go back, you're like, all right. And then he drives you back. And if you're like, you know what, I I don't know. He'd be like, all right, well, let's drive a little bit
Is
more.
is Goldblum is which one is Jeff Goldblum here? Is he the guy in the pitchfork, or is he the guy in the UV vest?
That's a good question. Which Jeff Goldblum are you thinking of, or is it
Honestly, just Jeff Goldblum.
just Jeff Goldblum?
Just Jeff Goldblum. Because
Butt-ass
historically,
naked.
and this is one of the weirdest things, and in case you didn't know, as like a celebrity, Jeff Goldblum tries to make every fan interaction personal. So he has this personal policy. This is a truth about him. If
Really?
he signs any autographs or he shakes your hand, he makes an emphasis to look you in the eyes to make eye contact.
Well, that's nice.
So, like, he's very much like a try to get to know you and have that personal connection, even for just a second. So that's why I say just any Jeff Goldblum. It doesn't have to be Jurassic Park
Yeah.
era. It doesn't have to be The Fly. It doesn't. No, any Jeff Goldblum. Because
I was thinking Marvel era Jeff Goldblum.
exactly, and like any. It doesn't matter. Just Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum at any point in history just fits. And yeah, if you want to do the sexy shirtless Jurassic Park one, I mean, I'm fine with that too. But he just appears to you. And if you want to see his
Seems like a
vinegar
personal
strokes,
guy.
you watch The League.
Jeff Goldblum is a good ferryman. I'll give it to you there. You're gonna have a good conversation with him.
Right? I just imagine he's just talking to you.
So
Stop.
the gator, the route, is it always the same kind of like backwoods off-roading, or does that change based on who's there?
Changes based on who's there and where you are. If you're someone that grew up in the city, you'll drive around on city sidewalks because it's a gator. It's not a road vehicle.
Awesome.
So you drive on sidewalks. If you're a more farm person or a more outdoorsy person, you drive on the trails. It all depends on where you are. That's why I picked a vehicle that was neutral.
I like
Well, that
it.
was
We did
definitely the most well thought out one.
Literally, the moment Andrew
From
said,
vehicle to conductor.
the moment Andrew said it, I had my immediate vision.
So did
And
I. Ours looked a hell of a lot different.
I'll be honest though. So Jeff Goldblum was a given for me because he's one of my favorite actors. But I'll tell you right now, a little insight into my past. The Gator is. I worked in the maintenance department at Mercyhurst for 7 years, 7 summers in a row, and for the longest time they used Gators, and so whenever I think of a John Deere Gator, I'm taken back to those summers, and they're great memories. And so, like, I have a positive association with the sound of a Gator driving, just the. So, like, I figured, you know what? To me, that is calming. That's what I want, is to just be in a little off-roader, just sitting and talking to someone. That takes me to the happiest place I can be.
As different and wildly different of all of ours are, there is an interesting similarity.
We all picked
All-
a celebrity.
All open air.
Yeah, well, that's also true.
You know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
look at that. Look at that.
Not one of us has an enclosed vehicle.
You know what's funny too is my I don't know why, maybe it's subconsciously, but when I was a kid, I still had my uncle's still around, but him and my aunt were like, yeah, we're gonna sell you our convertible cherry red Corvette when you're old enough to drive. Guess what? Never happened. I never got a Corvette. So maybe that's subconsciously, maybe that's playing into my subconscious as well, like the Gator.
Yeah, you put those associations. Yeah.
It's been a real therapy session.
It was. I love it. We all found out what we actually need.
You need a pontoon boat,
I need a pontoon boat. You need that cherry red convertible.
and I need $15,000 to buy a Gator.
Gator. I love it. They're all unique. And like Alex said, the celebrities we all picked. Definitely a theme going on there, too.
Yeah, they're all around the same age.
I'm saying, yeah, better days of past. Not that, I don't want to say that. That sounds rude. I'm not going to say better days have passed by, but they're the same age.
all actors around the same age that acted during the same era in different capacities, and were all seen as handsome, attractive men.
Became big deals around the same time.
Yeah.
Don Johnson, Tom Selleck, and Jeff Goldblum are our ferrymen.
Well, say I think that was doesn't need to be edited out or cut because that was a hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
That turned out a lot better than I could have hoped for. But let us know what you guys think of our ferrymen and their vehicles.
Yeah.
What would yours
they are-
be?
Yeah, let us
Totally
know. what yours
subjective.
would
Clearly, no judgments here. We
be.
had some
Follow
very
the
different.
same-
Yeah.
Just let it flow through you. You never know what's going to come out,
You'll feel a lot
Exactly.
better after you just come up with the idea.
right?
Exactly.
That's the bus to nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just a thought exercise to make you feel better.
Yeah.
Releases all of it.
Yeah.
You know what? Just for that 10 minutes I was thinking, I was on that pontoon boat with Tom Selleck.
Right?
You know, it's,
Put yourself-
as I was spewing mine off, I was writing down. I've had Paradise City stuck in my head ever since then.
Yep.
With Don
So-
Johnson.
Go ahead, come up with your ferryman and your vessel. You'll have a great time, and you're going to feel a hell of a lot better afterwards.
Yeah. Really?
We just cracked the bus to nowhere.
I think we did.
Um,
I think we've definitely crashed the bus to nowhere. Is that what you said?
We said crack the bus.
Oh, I said
We
crash.
cracked the bus in a whole different context.
Oh, I thought you said crashed. Oh shit.
The bus has been crashed. We have figured out better modes of transportation for
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, it's down for maintenance at Mercyhurst right now.
The bus is gone. Now when you need to think, you're taken up to an area that has a dock, a garage, and a maintenance vehicle, and you get to pick.
You pick the one you want.
Exactly.
Jeff Goldblum, Tom Selleck, and Don Johnson are just standing right next to things waiting.
Wait. With open arms.
With arms wide open. Sorry. Oh, God.
Alex, any final thoughts on the bus to nowhere or any of the ferrymen?
No, honestly, I this was a good one. I'll be honest. Looking at it right before we started recording, looking at the script, I was like, "Yeah, this is going to be a whatever episode." But this turned out to be a lot of fun and a really relaxing one. So, yeah. I guess what I do want to say to anyone who listens to the podcast or watches the podcast or whatever, if you're ever in a serious and dark place that seems hard to get out of, there is light at the end of the tunnel one way or another. Just try to stay positive, and heck, honestly, like Andrew said, this thought experiment, and Tyler said it too, like it was very relaxing and very freeing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Takes you to an interesting place.
yeah, a place you didn't expect to be.
No.
So yeah, just if you get an option to ride on the bus to nowhere, take it, because you might just get some answers and some clarity. That's what I gotta say.
Tyler, any final thoughts on the bus to nowhere?
Really fun, honestly. It's as far as like urban legends go, I think this was an awesome one. I think it's really telling. Like I said before, like the underlying theme of hope, and that in a real kind of, I don't know the right word, not contrived, but just a different form of dark hope, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really cool. I like it a lot.
I agree, because I feel like a lot of the things we go over, they're really dark, and if there is some sort of choice involved, it's never good still. This one, though, really was like,
Yeah.
you've got the chance to actually get things in order and get happy. But
Yeah.
I agree. It was definitely really cool, and it was a lot of fun coming up with my ferryman. So like Alex said, anytime you're feeling down or sad or whatever, come up with your own. It'll generate some odd, happy feelings. And I think whenever I'm sad, I'm just gonna start yelling Tom Selleck on a pontoon boat, and
Dude,
just
like I
transport
said,
to place.
You never know.
Absolutely. All I can hear right now is just those drums of Paradise City.
Take me down to the paradise city where the
Exactly.
grass is green and the girls are pretty.
Oh,
Please take me
oh,
home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Does wonders.
Oh man, such bringer uppers.
It really was. Like, that was fun. I like that exercise a lot. And
Me too.
talking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, folks, thank you for joining us on this ride on our own buses to nowhere.
Really was. We didn't go anywhere. We went a
Yeah.
circle.
Make sure to come back next time as we talk about some more spookiness and stay in the light.